Getting better at Ashika Island can be challenging for some players. Now you might be one of those people that think Ashika Island is easy and you get high kills and you get a lot of wins, and that's amazing. But there are some people who actually do struggle within Ashika Island, either it's because it's too fast paced for them, or they're still learning how to play the game itself, and that's perfectly fine. But what we're going to be doing in today's video is talking about 5 tips to help you get better at Ashika Island so you can get some more kills, more wins, and overall just improve your performance and your gameplay within Ashika Island. Quickly before we get into the video, if you need help doing or getting new contracts, or if you just need good players to play with, feel free to join my Discord. You can check the link down in the description below to take you to my Discord. There's tons of people on there, so you'll definitely make some great friends and probably get a nuke as well. Welcome back to the channel for my return subscribers, and a warm welcome for the new ones as well. So guys, like I said in the intro, today I'll be showing you guys some tips on how to improve at Ashika Island, because unlike Al-Mazrah, Ashika is a lot more fast paced and you have to play in a certain way, because if you play it slow, you are going to get ran up on and sent back into the lobby pretty quick. So some of these tips will revolve around the player himself, and some tips will revolve around the team itself. So sit back and relax and check out these 5 tips to help you get better at Ashika Island. So guys, tip number 1 is going to be one of the most important ones, and that is having the right guns. Now of course, you probably think I'm just going to be talking about having the right metas, and to a degree that is right. But what's actually more important in Ashika Island is having fast firing and fast mobility / ADS weapons. Because this map is going to be hot and it's going to be very action packed. So if you have a gun that has a very low sprint to fire speed, or a gun with a very slow ADS speed, it's going to be a lot harder to get those first shots off and win those gunfights that come out of nowhere. Now yes, having a slow gun at long range can be pretty good, because most likely if you have a slow firing gun, the recoil control is exactly what you have built it for. So in like Al-Mazrah, that's okay, but in Ashika Island, it's definitely more important to focus on the ADS and the sprint to fire speeds. So some guns I would recommend for that would definitely be the MP7, as it has great mobility and a pretty quick sprint to fire speed as well. It's not the fastest out of the SMGs, but it makes up in terms of recoil control and damage as well. So you have a little bit of the best of both worlds with this gun. Other guns I'd recommend would be the ISO Hemlock, the Lockman 556, the Lockman Sub, and the Bass P. These guns can all be made to have great recoil control while also having great sprint to fire and mobility speeds. So definitely use these guns to check out some of the best class subs. I actually do have some class subs for most of these guns down below in the description or on my YouTube itself. So if you guys want to check those out, you're more than welcome to do so. So guys, the 4th tip on this list is going to be landing at the right spots. Now if you're a sweat and you know what you're doing, then yeah, you can do those hot drops, you can go to castle, you can go to farms. But if you're still learning how to play the game and how to get good at it, it's more likely recommended to actually go to places that aren't too hot but still have some action in there, so you can still get those kills and get a little bit of learning and warming up involved as well. So I definitely recommend things like Beach Club, Town Center, Residential, as those places aren't normally too hot, but they still have a good amount of players that you can still get some kills, but they'll have enough loot and enough chances for you to actually stay alive long enough to get further into the game so you can get closer to getting that win. So guys, the 3rd tip on this list is going to be more team based, and that is knowing when to bleed out and playing for your life. Now what I've seen with some players, especially when I'm playing with randoms who really don't know what they're doing, is they'll get knocked far away from the team and the team is not able to get to them. Either they're just way too far, or the moment right now is very hot and they just can't get there safely. So the normal waiting time for a respawn in Ashika Island can go anywhere between 20 to 45 seconds. So that is a lot of time, especially towards the end circles, for things to go wrong. Because as I said before, you know, you gotta stay alive and you have to have your team alive to be able to actually get towards the end game. So if you're just waiting around, just bleeding out slowly as your team is getting knocked one by one, that is a closer chance at you guys getting just team wiped and sent back to the lobby. So if you know you're in a place where you cannot get revived, just reset. Resetting is going to help you guys get a lot further, because you can land somewhere new, or you can land back on your loot if mistakes happen. But then as well, when it comes to playing life, if you are the last one alive and your team is still coming back, it's always recommended to just play slow, play for your life, and just make sure that you guys can get back. Because sometimes people won't take into consideration the fact that they're the only ones left, so they'll either still push things fully, or they'll hide in a really bad way, which will make them get shot easily. So what I do is, if I'm last alive, is just keep running the opposite directions of where the gunfights are happening, and find a place where you can hold your angles, hold your directions, and make sure no one can push onto you guys. And if you can cover loadouts for your team to get back, that is also a huge bonus. So guys, the 2nd tip now on this list kind of contradicts the 4th one, and that is you're gonna have to force yourself to get comfortable and get good. And what I mean by this is, honestly, if you're not trying to learn and you're not going up against the sweats and you're not landing hot, it's going to be a lot harder for you to learn, because you're not going anywhere where you actually get out of your comfort zone and you're learning those patterns and those skills and tricks that players use to help them stay alive and just get to the end circles and get more kills. So what I like telling my friends who are either new to the game or they just aren't that good is you're gonna have to get comfortable with pushing. The more you play aggressive and the more you learn how to use your guns, how to engage gunfights, and overall just having more confidence, honestly lets you get a lot further. Because when you're scared of up the team or when you're just scared of pushing out, it's a lot easier to die because I feel like when you have that confidence and you just aggressively push, even if you're not the best player, I feel like your chances of surviving are just a lot higher. So once you get comfortable, especially with learning your weapons and having just a little bit of accuracy and whatnot, jump out there and start pushing things. Start learning how to engage different gunfights, how to third party, and just go for it because you're going to learn more. Yeah, you might die, you might get squad wiped, but at the end of the day, you might have gotten a couple kills and you might have learned some new movement techniques, some new routes for rotations, or just overall just learn some new stuff to help you get better. So guys, for the fifth and final tip of how to get better at Ashika Island and get more wins, is going to be playing the storms properly. Because the gas in Ashika Island is going to be very fast, especially towards the end. And with a lot of teams there and a lot of people flying in, you're going to need places to be where it's very easy to have cover and to know where exactly everyone's coming from. Now, I'm not saying rat it out and just hide in buildings or just camp somewhere where it's going to be very stupid. But if you can take some high grounds on top of some cliffs or holding certain angles in the end zone so the teams push up towards you, it's going to be very crucial for you guys getting some more wins and getting more kills. One of the best things I always recommend at the end circles is just holding off the border of the circles, because if most of the players are outside of the circle and they have to rotate to you, that is easy ways to get some free kills because they're gonna have to push up to you, and especially if they're in the open and you have some good cover, they are going to be set up for failure. So make sure you guys just have some great rotations and know where the enemies are coming from so you can take care of them. But as well, for the part 2 of this tip, you're going to want to rotate properly too, because you do not want to be the one caught in the storm having to rotate, because I've had times like that too where I didn't get to rotate properly, so I have to walk out into the open because there's nowhere to actually push besides that, and there's teams holding the circle, they're holding the storm, and I just get, you know, destroyed. So definitely make sure that you're always taking the time to consider how the circle is, plan around it, rotate early, hold the circle for enemies, and make sure that you are not the one getting caught outside the circle at last minute. So here we have it guys, these are 5 tips to help you guys get better at Ashika Island and get more kills. If you guys did enjoy this video and it's well found and informative, you're always welcome to hit that like button, it helps me out a ton on the channel. And if you have not subscribed already, you're always welcome to do so as well. I post all things Call of Duty, including tips and tricks, news, info, and more. So if those things are things that you're interested in, you're always welcome to subscribe. But once again, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. My name is Scotty, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.